This is where the Frankfort and Tacony Creeks meet in Philadelphia's Juniata Park, and where Katara Moore often brought her kids.
What do you think about what we're seeing?
Awesome! Me and my kids would get in the car and we would go to the places where we knew we would find these things.
They found moments like this.
And sticks and branches.
When heavy rain caused raw sewage to flow through this creek back in 2009.
Kind of amazing, like, and astounding, because like you're seeing a kind of like gushing water. It was fun, but it was also not fun because that's not supposed to happen.
Yet it's still happening.
It smells like a bathroom.
Tina Ridgway works with children at a nearby rec center. She says many of the kids struggle to have fun because of the smell.
It just smells like someone just dumped their toilet.
What's causing that smell? This pipe. It's 24 feet across and 21 feet high. And according to Water Department data we analyzed, from July 2023 to June 2024, nearly 2 billion gallons of raw sewage and polluted stormwater came out of this pipe into the Frankfort and Tacony Creeks. Now you may be thinking there's something wrong with Philadelphia's sewage system. In fact, it's working as designed. And the department admits that's the problem.
Philadelphia is old. And while many of the ideas born here are timeless, others are showing their age.
The priorities that when the sewer system was created were different than they are now.
Philadelphia Water Department's Maria Horowitz says about 60% of the city, including some of its oldest neighborhoods, have a combined sewer system. The wastewater from your home and rainwater collect in a single underground pipe. The city treats all that polluted water before releasing it into the Schuylkill and Delaware rivers. The department says your drinking water is safe because this all happens downstream from where the city scoops up that drinking water. But when it starts to rain heavily, it could overload the system, potentially forcing contaminated water back up into people's homes. To prevent that, 164 pipes called outfalls are scattered throughout the city to divert that untreated water into the city's creeks and rivers.
I think it's offensive. I think it's incredibly, incredibly sad.
Maya Van Rossum runs the Delaware Riverkeeper Network, an environmental advocacy nonprofit. She says when polluted water spills out of these outfalls, the water can be dangerous, especially for kids in Philadelphia's most economically challenged neighborhoods who hang out and swim in these creeks.
They're swimming in the water, they're engaging with the water, they ingest that. You can have gastrointestinal issues. There are potentially issues with hepatitis.
Harmful to humans, deadly to marine life, like these fish in Cobb's Creek back in August 2020.
We should not be condoning the discharge of raw sewage and toilet paper and feces into our natural systems.
Except by law, these spills are almost always allowed. The Pennsylvania DEP says the city can release raw sewage into rivers and creeks only during rainy days.
You can see them, you can smell them, they're unsightly. And it's something that needs to be rectified.
And Philadelphia Deputy Water Commissioner Mark Camerata warns we could be seeing more spills due to climate change.
More intense rainfall events is really stressing out what is an aged asset system we have here.
The city's in the middle of a 25-year, $2.4 billion plan to prevent too much stormwater from flowing into its system. The Water Department's installing thousands of pieces of green infrastructure throughout the city, like this bump out, which juts out from a street curb. Once finished, it will use plants and stones to filter and capture rainwater before it enters the sewers.
For us, it was just a better solution than tearing up the city.
Horowitz says of these pieces that are already finished, they've prevented 3 billion gallons of polluted water a year from pouring into the city's waterways. Still, Water Department data we analyzed shows between July 2023 through June 2024, nearly 14 billion gallons of polluted water flowed into the city's rivers and creeks.
That's not solving the problem, and it's not solving it in a meaningful way.
Van Rossum wants the city to think bigger, bolder, but Horowitz says separating Philadelphia's stormwater and sewage pipes would tear up streets, disrupt daily life, and cost billions of dollars.
Behind the scenes, it's a very tenuous conversation about which areas, what should we replace, and what are our priorities, because we definitely can't do them all in one shot.
Yet in this one shot from 15 years ago, Moore captured the challenges facing Philadelphia and its combined sewer system.
You're going about your life, you're not really paying attention to some of these things, but kind of understanding that these things matter.
It matters to our now grown children, both working on environmental issues, and it matters to the health of our environment. Brandon Goldner, CBS News, Philadelphia.